Farhan, what is the importance of core training? Because we keep on hearing these things that for any athlete or any actor who wants to showcase a certain sort of physique on camera, they should have a strong core. And even you mentioned the core short while back. So could you elaborate on that, please?
Yeah. So the function of the core is to stabilize the spine while the limbs are performing movement, and you're only as strong as your core. So, for example, in every movement that you perform, the core has to be involved, and you have to be able to see and break down how the core is being utilized. So the way the core was being utilized, for example, in Return of Xander Cage was very different from the way Deepika was using her core in the dance sequence. So you have to be able to establish what's functionally important for that person, whether it's basketball, volleyball. Is there explosive movement involved? Is there movement that requires a lot of endurance? And so the core has to be able to stabilize while the body is performing all those functions. So everything starts with the core. And in every workout that we did with Deepika, it always involved with the core. We always taught her where the core was aligned, how to fire it, and then added movements so that you're layering the progression of the exercises to best help them with the performance. But everything must always start with the core.
Great. And now, Farhan, what was an average day like for Deepika Padukone as far as her training is concerned? How many days was she? How many hours was she training? And what were the timings? What was she doing it in the morning or evenings? Was she also putting in other things like she's a badminton player?
Yeah. So the challenging part now is
was she swimming as well?
Shooting schedule. Yeah, we were training at a variety of different times. So sometimes I was in the gym at 6 a.m., sometimes I was at the gym at 4 or 6 p.m. But in general, we trained about 3 times a week in Toronto for about an hour to an hour and a half. And then while we were in Madrid, we trained 5 days up until leading the performance for about an hour and a half. On the day of her performance in Madrid, we trained twice that day, just to prepare her for the event.
And was she playing any sport as well? Was she swimming as well? Was she doing all those things apart from
there was nothing else that I wanted to do besides the training because I didn't want her to fatigue. And she even said to me, should I do anything else? And I said, no, this is plenty. And the training program that we did was pretty concise. There was nothing else I would have prescribed for her.
Okay, and Deepika is extremely inquisitive, and whatever she does, she does it very seriously. What sort of questions did he have for you when you started off or while you were training her?
For the most part, she was very open to the process. But I will say this, the one thing that I really admired about her was her focus. And I've had the opportunity to work with, world record holders, Olympians, Canadian Olympians and world record holders, gold medalists. And Deepika has a focus that's very similar to that of an athlete. And that was the one thing that I admired about her. And if you heard her speak at IFA, she talked about the 3Ds, that her father always taught her as far as if you always want to do your best, make sure that you're determined, that you are disciplined, and that you are dedicated. And after I heard her speak and I reflected back on the way that she trained and worked out with me, she really lives her life by those philosophies, no matter what she's doing. And I can tell you, this is probably why she's so successful at what she does. She's very committed to what she does. She's extremely passionate and she's extremely focused.
Was your assignment with Deepika only for the Return of Xander Cage, or will you be training her for future as well? Is that something that you're discussing?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm definitely open to that. If the opportunity came and she needed me, I would definitely say yes. She is probably one of the most, rewarding persons I've ever worked with. She's just an absolute gem. And she brings so much joy into everything that she does that if there was another opportunity, I would definitely say yes.
Okay, and Farhan, you've been to India? Have you been to India?
I have, but it was about 1997.
That's like a really long time back, almost like
it was a very long time ago.
19 years back. All right.
Are you inviting me?
Please, we would love to have you in India anytime.
Yeah, I would love to
come to Mumbai. You should come to Mumbai anytime.
I'm well overdue for a visit.
I think you should. Where are you from exactly? You born and brought up in Canada, or?
I was born in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. But pretty much raised in Canada.
Okay, so where are your parents from?
Dar es Salaam.
They are from Dar es Salaam as well?
Yeah, I'm from Dar es Salaam.
Great, okay.